got two questions. Colin, I hear you're hawking black market copies of the video the robot made of Eureka. I can't find it. What's with it?
And then you wonder why I say mean things about him. What are you doing? Black market hoops?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to bring to DragonCon next year. Is I got dailies from that scene where Eric was naked in the shower. So we'll be selling those.
I was like, what are we talking about?
Okay. Second question, Erica.
Hi.
Do the trick with your shirt that Colin does?
I didn't know what he did over there, and everyone was like, no.
Not with that
Hi guys. Inspired by the very, very profound question about this. Okay. Sorry, I feel like I'm eating this thing. But the very profound question about superhero powers. I always saw Eureka as being a show where extreme amounts of brainiac capability is the superpower. So a little more realistically, would you want a comic book superhero power or the actual intellectual ability to do pretty much anything?
Oh, I would go with intellectual.
Yeah,
I like it.
Jetpack, but awesome.
Well, I read an article stating that there was actually brain tissue in muscles or similar tissue to brain stuff, so I'd work it all. Yeah, because I'm that guy at a party. I'm going to grow up eventually. No, I'd take the brain. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The tooth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm 38. I'm passing the baton to my brain now anyway. Good luck, brain.
We were talking about having guests come on and other people, and my wife and I and my son, all three, think that you ought to bring Mike Rowe on from Discovery Channel as your brother.
Director called me, and that's what I thought you guys were talking about.
I love it. I should go on Human Target as well. Confuse everybody.
Bring Joel Gretsch along for the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's more for Erica. The first season or two, your character was played more as a kind of severe, very hair tied up kind of character. The last couple seasons, you've kind of been able to let your hair down more, be more feminine in that regard. What's your feeling about that? Why did the producers go in that direction, and how do you enjoy playing the two different styles?
Well, I was fine with both. Didn't matter to me. I think that they wanted to make sure that my character was a bit more likable, I think in the severe character was maybe a bit too severe. Stupid answer that was.
Well, no, I think the thing is, you know, Lubo has written one of Erica is so winning, I think, as a personality. I think you're really winning as a personality. So we wanted to bring as much of that out as we possibly could. I love you. We got to tell the story when Erica was first cast. She goes into the trailer and there's
like the bad. Oh my God.
This is great, and they're designing Joe Lupo, right? So you have the key makeup and key hair there. And I come in at one point. They've teased out her hair, so she looks like she's been electrocuted.
It's like all over my face.
They've carved in a unibrow across okay, and what we do now is Erica doesn't wear any makeup. She basically walks into work, pulls her hair back and goes, "Let's go." And I think she's stunning.
They actually wanted to cut off all my hair, and that didn't. Yeah, they were going to cut off all my hair. And,
Didn't they want an eye patch on you or something?
An eye patch and a scar across my face.
Why did you hire her then? All right, she's perfect, except she looks completely wrong.
That's exactly what it was. It was very funny. But no, I love playing both, and I think that was, you know, I think it's also the years of like playing a character. I think you just learn, you know, what to do with all the different emotions and how to respond to all the things that go on within the show. So yeah, I guess. Next.
I know, Colin, you said that you enjoy doing research outside of work and you kind of like to learn about things. And I was wondering, have you guys ever had like a particular scientific concept that comes up in the show that you go home and you just want to learn way more about?
Yeah, no.
really do the science thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's less about going home and doing research and more the conversations on set, where you're on set and you're going, is this science fantasy or is this actually science fact, what we're dealing with there? And to sort of call Kevin and have conversations, and I'm actually putting together a show to do just on the internet. It's called Drunk Patio Science. It's going to be a bunch of basically scientists from JPL and all over the LA basin, and we're all going to have a drink, and we're going to bring up, it would be like, okay, ray guns and Star Wars, go. And all of the scientists, there's going to be a bleacher full of scientists, and they're all going to be talking about where we are, how close are we, where the movies get wrong, where the movies get right, and it'll be the actual science behind the science fantasy that we all take for granted. So. And I'll be the drunk guy in the corner going, yeah!
No, I'll explain it to you.
I'm a rope!
Does the laser have a light?
Super powered light with the crystal.
Yeah. I don't look it up. I look it up only to understand what the heck I'm talking about if I ever have to say anything to do with science, so. Yeah, that's my answer. Not a very good one, but I'm depleting. I need food. Can I have that sandwich?
I ate it. I don't have anything.
Next.
I have a comment and a question. First of all, you guys made a really huge change in with this new season as far as roles go, and I want to commend you on having the balls to change Kevin's role from an autistic kid to someone who is functioning. As a parent of someone who has Asperger's, that's a hard subject to touch on. We think every day what our lives would be like with a child that has not got that syndrome. So my question is, first of all, I just have a lot of respect and commend you for that, touching on that subject and playing it out so well. And second of all, how did y'all...
Stop the party, come on.
My girl here, that's just saying. How all did you guys feel about making such huge changes in your personal lives as far as your characters go? And when you got those scripts, what were you thinking as far as giving up your old character and redoing your whole lives? How did that come about?
Yeah, how'd it come about? No, I mean, there was a lot of conversation in the 6 months that went beforehand, so we sort of heard little bits and pieces, so it wasn't like we sort of got hit with a ton of bricks right out of the gate. I'll speak for myself. I really enjoyed the reboot. I really enjoyed sort of going back with the main relationships of the show intact, but having everyone dealing with a bunch of stuff. It allowed us to make big structural changes for having longer plots with Neil and Eureka, like full B plots, full C plot, like where their characters could really develop. So I was really happy to see that. I mean, everyone wanted to hear more from their voices, I think. So to put in a structure in place that helped us accomplish that, it's the big shining plus for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. We've just all got a lot more responsibility now, and we're being stretched more, like especially the two of us, just as actors, we're getting a lot more to do. And that's awesome for us, because that's what our job is, and that's what we like doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
They answered the question perfectly. I don't even know what to add. So yeah, it's given us an awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like my greatest hope for this show is to last maybe as long as Star Trek did, maybe one season, one series of Star Trek. Do you guys ever think you're gonna get to a point where you're sick of seeing yourself on TV? Like the reruns are just always on, you're always on some channel somewhere?
I'm always sick of seeing myself on TV.
I never tire of seeing myself. Now the series of mirrors I put up all around the house is really stunning. I'll explain it. I've got ceilings, walls, so I never actually lose contact with myself. Yeah, all the episodes on every TV. No, I mean, well, it's funny.
You're sitting in your chair. I'm watching every single season at the same time.
Staring into a spoon. Look, me at a funny angle. I'm upside down. I mean, for us, I mean, when we're watching ourselves, we're watching a lot of different stuff. you know, we're watching the edit, what got cut, where the air went, how we did based on what we wanted to do versus what we actually ended up doing, what the other person did, you know, lighting, we're watching a lot of different stuff. So, so it's not as narcissistic as I might feel, right? I think there's a lot of stuff going on in our minds, so I don't know, do I tire of what? It's not like I sit around and watch it. I watch it because I have to. What am I saying? No, we do a screening, and I can't sit through it. I mean,
I was just gonna say, you've never gone and watched the...
No, I'm wildly uncomfortable watching myself.
I don't watch myself either. I can't stand to. If I did, I would quit acting. Honest to God, if I had to watch myself, I would quit, and I would get another job.
I watch myself all the time. I feel like a weirdo now. I can't stand myself. I'm like, oh, the show's on. Not in this scene. That's why. But it's only when other people are around. I mean, like, you know, if you're sitting right down with 100 of the crew or something, watching yourself, I get wildly self-conscious. I start sweating. But if I'm sitting at home alone, I don't mind it so much. I can sort of relax into it.
Yeah, no, I have to be alone. I agree with that. I have to be like, my fiance can't even be in the room. He wants to watch the show with me, and I'm like, no. Watch it by yourself when I'm at work. I can't. I'm like you. I get so uncomfortable.
Because going from being the subject to the object, it's a really weird game in your head. I think.
Yep.
I don't know. I just remember watching the first episode, Founders Day or whatever, with the whole Farginator scene with the entire crew, and being like, oh, that's weird. I'm naked on screen, and everyone's looking at me. Everyone's looking at me, looking at myself, naked on the end of the weird.
Speaking of that, though, the episode where I'm in the shower, that was the screening that we had for all of us to watch. We're all sitting there, cast and crew, and I completely forgot. I'm like, I'm going to go watch the episode because I wanted to see how Monstrosity cut together and the robot and whatever. And the first scene.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
I forgot about that. I was like, oh my God.
And it made me so happy. The hair flick was fantastic though. The sexy hair flip to like, oh, I was watching it.
Next question.